Hi, I'm Rylingo, and this is my top 10 movies of 2013 list. It's my opinion. This is not a factual list. It's the list of movies that I enjoyed the most during 2013. I hope you all enjoy, and remember, it's my opinion. If you have your own opinions, post your own top 10 below. Thanks. Here it goes. Number 10. The Conjuring. The Conjuring is a horror movie released by James Wan. It follows two groups of people, a paranormal investigative couple and an innocent family. The family moves into a creepy old home and things start to go wrong very quickly. Both sets of people soon join up and try to defeat the evil whatever it is. The Conjuring delivers in the scare department. It mixes general spookiness with jump scares. The acting is really good, which is important because some of the dialogue was a bit cheesy. The widespread use of practical effects helped make the movie feel more realistic. This movie wasn't perfect. There were some pacing issues, but they mainly came about because of the movie's own ambition, rather than lazy writing. That said, The Conjuring is a good horror movie that's well worth seeing. Number 9. Frozen. Yes, a Disney princess movie made it onto my list. Frankly, I'm as surprised as anyone. Frozen deserves its place though. The movie follows Anna, the youngest of two princesses, who's looking forward to meeting new people as the castle finally opens its gates to the public. Her older sister Elsa has been hidden away in the castle for fear that she might lose control of her secret ice powers. Whilst Frozen's story isn't anything spectacular, how it presents it is. The movie looks stunning. Particular kudos have to go to the ice effects. Frozen has a good cast of voice actors. The ever-lovely Christian Bale takes up the lead role Anna, and Idina Menzel plays her sister. Menzel's Broadway experience clearly shows during the songs in this movie. Speaking of which, the soundtrack is pretty damn good. Better than mostly any Disney soundtrack in the last 10 years. The only issue I had with the movie was its comic relief Olaf. The talking snowman is just boring. Really boring. Interestingly, Frozen is not afraid of challenging the tropes set by Disney in the past, and it proves itself to be a pro-feminist movie. Sisterly love is the focus of the movie, and the scenes with both sisters in it are clearly the best scenes. Number 8. American Hustle. This was billed as the surefire award-winning drama movie, and it's pretty good. Not holy shit I need to see this 5 million times good, just good. It's loosely based on the scam operation headed by the FBI in the late 70s. Christian Bale and Amy Adams play the parts of two trapped con artists that are being forced to work alongside the FBI in a sting operation. David O. Russell directs it competently. The music score is good, and the characters are purposefully over the top, but fun to watch. At times the drama came across as a little bit contrived to me. Where the movie surprisingly shone was humour. Jennifer Lawrence plays Bale's slightly unhinged wife, who never fails but to gain a laugh in every scene. She cracked me up and held her own. Not an easy thing to do with an all-star cast around her. Number 7. The Great Gatsby. This is a remake of the Scott Fitzgerald classic novel. The movie follows Nick Carraway, who is telling a psychiatrist about the time he spent with the enigmatic Jay Gatsby. The Great Gatsby is a competent drama. Baz Luhrmann directs the movie in his heavily stylized way as per usual. Whilst I had problems with the soundtrack and found some of the exposition unnecessary, I still enjoyed the movie, mainly for the performances of the cast. All the actors involved really pushed the movie forward. I enjoyed it, and if you aren't going to read the book, then maybe you should give the movie a try. Number 6. This Is the End. There's not a lot I can say about this movie other than it made me laugh. Like a lot. Like constantly, consistently laugh. There's a party at James Franco's house and Hollywood is invited. Halfway through the party the apocalypse happens, so we get to watch the comedy actors attempting to survive. So we have Seth Rogen and co taking part in plenty of capers. The star-studded cast helps round out the movie and adds diversity to the jokes on offer. There's also some of the best movie cameos I've seen in a long time. So yeah, it's here because it's funny. Really funny. Number 5. Gravity. If you're looking for this year's most stunning movie, then look no further. Gravity is your answer. Sandra Bullock stars as Dr. Ryan, a medical engineer sent up to perform a mission aboard the Space Shuttle Explorer. Things soon start going wrong, putting Ryan and her colleagues in mortal danger. Gravity has strong acting and a solid storyline, making it easy to watch, not annoying like some of the big budget Michael Bay flicks. Bullock is likeable as ever, bringing personality to the role despite having few other characters to interact with. A lot is packed into the 90-minute runtime, and the effects will dazzle you into submission. Number 4. Kick-Ass 2. I loved the first Kick-Ass movie, and thoroughly enjoyed this one. Kick-Ass 2 is just as wonderfully inappropriate as the first movie. Kick-Ass is back in school, this time joined by the bloodthirsty hit girl. Both are trying to adapt to normality, but the superhero life is still calling to them. More and more heroes start turning up, but the villainous Christy Amico assembles his own dangerous villainous group and starts causing trouble. Chloe Moretz once again outshines the rest of the cast, her character clearly being the most interesting. Christopher McLovin is even better in the sequel. He was hilarious. Kick-Ass 2 isn't flawless. Its storyline is a little bit disjointed, and some of the dialogue is a bit corny. Good acting overcomes most of these issues though. The action scenes are fun and well choreographed. The humour is dark at times, so dark that you'll feel just a little bit disgusting. And the soundtrack is stellar. Watch this movie. Number 3. The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. Long title. The second movie in the Peter Jackson Hobbit trilogy trundles along nicely. The dwarves and Bilbo are still on their journey to retake the mountain and rescue the Arkenstone from the dragon Smaug. The pacing is a lot better in this movie than it was in the original. There's much more happening here with the humans and elves getting involved, which almost pushes Bilbo into the background of his own movie. The acting is good, not that I'm surprised with the cast on offer. Evangeline Lilly's performance being my favourite. Howard Shore's soundtrack is magical. The action scenes are fun and the humour is welcome. A lot of the Tolkien purists despise the Hobbit movies, but I still find them to be quite good fun. Peter Jackson makes fine fantasy movies, the best around at the minute for sure. I thought this was a really good show, so I'm looking forward to the finale. Number 2. The World's End. The final movie in the Cornetto trilogy is my personal favourite. The World's End is a sci-fi comedy where 6 plucky heroes set out to complete a legendary pub crawl. Things take an extraterrestrial turn for the worse and hijinks ensue. I really enjoy Edgar Wright movies, and this is no different. The acting is pretty good, with Simon Pegg taking on a more difficult role than in other movies. Other actors like Nick Frost and Rosamund Pike perform well in their roles. The action scenes are really well choreographed. Probably the best choreography I've seen this year. The World's End is darker than the other Cornetto movies. It's willing to tackle themes of uniformity and aging. This leads to a deeper and more fulfilling climax than in the previous movies. There's plenty of jokes on offer as expected. Poor pacing and a less than perfect ending cost this movie the number 1 spot. Number 1. Django Unchained. I know what you're thinking. That's a 2012 movie, Rylingo. You can't put that in your list. Well, I can, you see, because this movie came out in 2013 in the UK and in Ireland. So I had to wait to watch it. So it didn't get in my top 10 last year. And you know what? I was going to make sure it was going to get in my top 10 this year. So it's number 1. Django is a Western adventure flick directed by Quentin Tarantino. It follows a slave called Django, seeking both revenge and his long-lost love. The movie satirises spaghetti westerns. Tarantino's flair is unmistakable throughout. I love his movies, and this is definitely one of the better ones. The acting is really strong. Jamie Foxx and Christopher Waltz make a good double act. I was rooting for them right away. DiCaprio makes a fine villain with some really memorable lines. The script is razor sharp and there are no signs of pacing issues. The shootouts were exhilarating, mainly thanks to Tarantino's control of tension. Tarantino is really good at controlling tension. It'll be tense, and then tenser, and then boom, action scene. It worked really, really well. Django could have avoided a lot of the real unpleasantness of slavery, but it bravely headed straight on. That takes balls. Django Unchained was my favourite movie of 2013. I hope you enjoyed the video. There's all the things around here if you want to hit something. Thanks for watching. See you next week when it's finally the top 10 YouTubers.